What's up, everybody? This is Adam from Cover Band Confidential, ruminating on some things that have occurred recently in the, music sphere that I wanted to discuss and kind of get your thoughts on. Over the last week or so, there have been some posts on Instagram and on YouTube where some people who are kind of prevalent in the internet music community talking about fake guitar players, inferring that certain guitarists on Instagram and YouTube and other formats are editing, speeding up, or completely faking performance videos that they're posting online. The one that was most widely spread was the one that Jared Dines posted. And he called people out specifically, and then further on in some other exchanges, he continued to call other people out. I'm of two thoughts of this situation. On one side, I completely agree that this is something that is happening. It is a way to gain status in the online community because, let's be completely honest, most of these guys aren't playing out. They are bedroom musicians, and their main channel of distribution is through the internet. There's not going to be a way that you can prove or disprove based purely on what you're seeing. On the other hand, some of the things that Jared said specifically have had repercussions in the real world with musicians who are performing live and doing things of that nature. The one that came to my attention just because I saw the video today on YouTube was from Rings of Saturn. Lucas Mann posted a very long, very detailed, very thorough rebuke of the accusation that was put against him by Jared himself, like he named him. The big issue with that is that in the process of this whole controversy and him being called out, he was in talks with a gear company to get an endorsement deal that fell through because of what was going on, which is not cool, and kind of goes to show, the bigger issue with call-out culture dealing with musicians. And again, I'm of two minds of this. We talked about this in last week's podcast episode. There are people who deserve to be called out. There are people who deserve to be ridiculed for being phony and for for not being able to do what they claim to be able to do. And there are exceptions to that rule. You are more than welcome to use studio trickery if you're on a time crunch or you're just doing it to prove the musicality of it. I don't think there's anything morally or ethically wrong with doing those things. However, if you have built a brand on a skill that you don't have, it's not ethical to do that. So, in the process of the guys from Rings of Saturn calling him out, Jared kind of doubled down on the whole thing. And then as we started kind of having this conversation on the Cover Band Confidential Facebook group, he posted that he had pulled all of that content and apologized to everybody. And he says that he doesn't want the community he wants unity in the community, which is interesting because the post itself was, calling people out specifically. Now, in our realm, the rubber meets the road for all of us pretty much every weekend because we have to be able to play those things live because that's our main avenue of performing. It's not as prevalent in the live music avenue, and we can go back and forth on backing tracks, and I think that was part of the main argument that was going on with Rings of Saturn, that there was a harmony line that was built in to their playback track, but what they were doing was happening. It's just really unfortunate that, a very talented person got their business messed with because of people, for all intents and purposes, being skeptical of their ability, or on the worst end, being jealous of what they can do versus what, other people can't do. I don't agree with that sentiment, and it is, it's very easy to dismiss somebody by just saying, oh, this is fake, when it's not. On my end, no one will ever accuse me of being an amazingly technical guitar player. But for guys who have put the hours and hours in building that skill and rehearsing and trying to execute really technical things, it's got to be maddening to have somebody just call you out and say that what you're doing is fake when it isn't. This whole controversy is going to create some good conversations, and I hope that it gives some musicians pause before they immediately just call somebody out for something if they don't have any reason to do so. I get that musicians in general can be kind of petty and do those things because of insecurity or whatever. I hope that this trend doesn't continue, and that this is just kind of a blip on everybody's radar, and that we can all go back to appreciating what amazing talent is out there and what all the resources that the internet offer us. There have never been more talented musicians on the planet than there are right now. And the beauty of the internet and social media is that we have access to all of them. 20 years ago, if you were the best guitar player in town, that's about as far as your reputation made it. Now you can use your talents to build a career that spans the globe. I mean, it's incredible what people can do now, and I hope that this is just a blip on the radar of the future of music and social media, and that we can continue to build an online community that can be as supportive as the local community can be. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be doing these more in the future.